Looks like we're going to have a good game today. The Titans versus the Strikers.
Sounds great. Strong guys versus strong guys in the truest of all sports. Football. I cannot wait.
Before this game starts, let's do a quick overview of what these two teams have to offer. The Titans, sponsored by Ulticorp, utilize quick grow technology that enhances cyclin production in their muscle cells. This caused the muscle cells to grow out of control, resulting in big guys with big muscles. Unfortunately, these athletes have to eat a lot more to support their vastly large number of cells, so Ulticorp has to dish out a lot of money to keep this team going.
And the red corner, sponsored by Bestis Corp, are the Strikers. Bestis Corp has a bad reputation going for them, doesn't it, Roger?
That it does, Bob. Years ago, they developed a deletion mutation, or removal of a nucleotide in the genetic code, kind of like what some old diseases like cystic fibrosis did. They then mass distributed this to the entire population around the country. Unfortunately for them, natural variation in the genetic code meant that this mutation would have completely different effects in different people. Unfortunately, even though that their test subjects had an increase in their metabolic rates, a lot of the patients they treated with it died.
It would kill people with certain DNA? Well, that's just racist of it.
Either way, this drastically reduced genetic variation in the population, which is why events like that haven't happened again.
They should give a mutation like that a name. Call it the DNA racism effect.
It already has a name, Bob. It's called the bottleneck effect. But before we get this game started, let's take a moment to appreciate this week's Flashback Friday. The Flashback Friday, where we talk about the old age of athletes before companies developed their genetic manipulations to make the athletes we have today.
That was back when the athletes were naturally born, right?
Yeah, back then it was all luck if you got the genes you wanted.
Segregation. Maybe something or another's law, right?
Mendel, Bob, his first law, said you only got one allele from each parent for each gene. So even if one parent had all the desired traits, you wouldn't necessarily get what you want. This process, which happened during meiosis, created a lot of variation in the population. Not everyone was fit to be an athlete.
It was 50-50 whether or not you got the strong genes?
Not even close. Mendel's second law says that. Independent assortment. Each allele is passed on independently of other alleles. You need to be really lucky to get every gene you wanted.
Like winning the lottery lucky?
Luckier than that, Bob.
Wow. Sports back then must have really sucked if the players had so many bad genes.
Well, they had nothing better to watch, but either way, we got a commercial break and a couple of other segments in store before we get down to the real sport here. First up is the gene of the day.
The gene of the day is myoactin. 15 years ago, a gene developed by Stronger Corp called myoactin strengthens the proteins myosin and actin to allow them to contract more efficiently and more often. This development has made athletes able to play for longer periods of time without tiring themselves out, because they don't need to use as much energy to contract their muscles. Are you feeling tired all the time? Never have enough energy? Get an ATP infusion from your local energy bank, filled with quality, ready-to-use ATP that your body can break down as necessary for its daily needs. Got too much energy? Make a donation of ATP molecules to the bank, and we'll compensate you. Official energy bank of the International Football Association. Ancient relics. Disease. A long, long time ago, in a place not unlike your own homes, there was a deadly killer stalking the streets throughout both night and day. His name? Disease. Viruses were one of the most deadly forms of disease, but we had only one hope: T cells. T cells were the, let's just say, special agents that hunted down and destroyed these viruses. However, they were really only effective against one type of disease per type of T cell. Modern Omni-T cell technology has created T cells that can destroy all types of viruses or other infections. All athletes take full advantage of this innovation in genetic engineering.